Mini Lesson 5. Are you in the mood? When we talk to people, the words we choose to use can reveal the mood we are in. For example, we are lining up for lunch and I say, "Hurry up, move faster. You are as slow as a turtle. You are going to make us late for lunch." Several things happen in your mind. I'm comparing you to a turtle, and you get a picture of how slow I think you're moving. You can also infer that I am not in a good mood because I chose words that made you feel bad. Poets choose their words very carefully because they knowingly want to create a certain mood and affect the feelings of their readers. If we can figure out this mood from the images the words create, then we can get a pretty good idea of what the poet wants us to think and feel when we read the poem. So the mood, again, we've done this before, is the overall feeling of a poem. That's what we get. A tone is the poet's voice or attitude towards the poem or audience. Some poems seem serious or sad. Others are humorous or lighthearted. A poem's mood might change from the beginning to the end of the poem. When you read a poem aloud, how does the poem make you feel? What words in the poem did the poet use to help create that feeling? Remember, after every time we read a poem, we should always ask the question, what mood are you in after you read that? We're going to look at a poem titled Cinquain by Paul Dzeko. A cinquain is a poem that has one stanza with 5 lines. Paul put 4 cinquains together in this one poem. Pink sky turns to purple as the sun slides behind the mountains and day slowly turns to night. Stillness of night deepens, stars are scattered across black velvet sky in glorious array. Snowflakes dance in the square of light from a window as a man sits quiet and still and waits. Oh, cat, are you grinning curled in the window seat as the sun warms you this December morning? Notice that the shapes are similar in each. The first 2 lines have 2 syllables, followed by 4, 6, 8, and 2-syllable lines. This is the standard format for a cinquain poem. All the poems seem to be connected, goes from one to the next. Pink sky turns to purple as the sun slides behind the mountains, day slowly turns to night. The first poem, the writer uses specific words to describe the sun coming up. When I read the line, pink sky turns to purple, I get a clear sense of the colors of the morning, and I see the sun as it slides behind the mountains. The poet chose the words pink, purple, slides, and slowly, very deliberately, to help me see this beautiful picture in my mind. I feel the stillness as I wait the coming of night. Stillness of night deepens, stars are scattered across black velvet sky in glorious array. The first word in the second poem immediately creates a certain feeling, stillness. The words create such a vivid image in my mind. I can almost see the stars scattered across a black velvet sky. Now I'm feeling a little bit of excitement. Snowflakes dance in the square of light from a window as a man sits quiet and still and waits. In the third poem, I get a clear image of a man sitting quiet and still, watching and waiting. And over here, I see that they're saying that snowflakes dance. Can snowflakes really dance? No, they can't. This is what's called personification. They were putting a human thing onto something that's not real, like snowflakes dance. Snowflakes can't dance, but the way they're moving looked like that they were dancing. Oh, cat, are you grinning curled in the window seat as the sun warms you this December morning? In the last poem, I can see the cat sitting very still, being warmed by the sun. I'm feeling so calm, I can almost fall asleep like the cat. The visual images created by this poet, carefully choice of words in all these poems, affected my feelings or created a mood that helped me infer what the poet wanted me to feel. A sense of calm and watchful anticipation. I think the poet wants to tell us to slow down, be still, and notice the beauty around us. In the poem book that we have read before, called Barefoot, poems for naked feet. We read a poem called Dusk. Dusk is when the sun's mere yoke, about to drop from the horizon, step off the sidewalk that's still, heckling everyone with hot. Step onto a cool green whisper, the lawn's long exhale like a fresh chilled silk steaming up your ankles. The grass has waited this whole sticky summer's swollen day for the company of your feet running and twirling, waited to feel your cartwheel. Palm, ponytail, palm, foot, foot, palm, ponytail, palm, foot, foot, as you spoke your legs across the cool moon, and the crickets applaud. So what do you think this poem's about? How did the words make you feel? And what mood did the poet create for you? Now let's look for specific words, descriptions that helped create the visual images that contribute to the mood. Here's our chance to put it all together. We know how we feel based on the mood the poet created by her careful choice of words and images she created in our minds. What do you think the poet is trying to say to us? Poets choose specific descriptive words to create images and feelings in the minds of their readers. These feelings help us determine the mood of the poem and the message the author is trying to share with us. Getting us to think, feel, and see are the way the poets talk to their readers. We need to think, feel, and see to get their message. So today in your reads, you're going to look at your poem today and find those descriptive words or phrases and write what do you think it means and what kind of mood did it create for you.
Mood is the feeling that you get from a work of literature or art. Another way to describe mood is atmosphere. When you walk into a place, it has an atmosphere that makes you feel a certain way. When you walk into a story, it too has an atmosphere that makes you feel a certain way. The mood of a story can be calm, annoyed, frantic, joyful, gloomy, romantic, hopeful, or tense. How might you describe the mood of this video right now? Sweet and playful, right? How about now? See how the music changes the mood? But authors can't use music in their writing. So what do they use? Word choice, imagery, and setting. Let's look at some examples. Listen to this sentence. The bloodthirsty lion stalked the savannah, hungrily eyeing the helpless creatures around him. Pay attention to the circled words. What mood do they create? Now listen to this sentence. The majestic lion roamed the savannah, proudly gazing at the creatures around him. How has the mood changed? Which words helped create this mood? Good writers pull readers into the world of a story by using vivid language that appeals to the five senses. This imagery is crucial to establishing a mood. See if you can find the imagery in this sentence. The wooden bat slipped in Emily's sweaty palms as she stepped up to home plate, the sun glaring down on her like a harsh spotlight. The crowd's piercing howls and jeers caused her heart to thump in her chest. What mood did these images create? What if the author had written, the wooden bat vibrated with energy in Emily's steady hands as she stepped up to home plate, the sun shining like a golden medal in the sky. The crowd's joyful whoops and whistles caused her heart to do a little dance in her chest. How did the different images change the mood? The setting of a story also plays a big part in creating mood. Like in this scene. What time is it? Tim asked Jacob. All around them, taxi cabs honked their horns as hordes of people in suits pushed by on their way into office buildings. What is the setting? What mood does the setting create? Now imagine the same scene, but in a completely different setting. Like this one. "What time is it?" Tim asked Jacob. Weak moonlight cast shadows over the crumbling gravestones. A lone owl hooted somewhere in the darkness above. How has the setting changed the mood? Now pick a mood from your Mood Words handout and write a short paragraph that creates that mood. Remember to think carefully about word choice, imagery, and setting. Good luck!